Hello, everyone. It is Friday evening. Oh, it's not even quite 7:30 yet. What's up with that? I'm normally a minute or so late, and I just looked. I thought it was 7:30, but it still says 7:29. Oh, there we go, 7:30. How is everyone? I hope you're all well tonight. I think we just had a visitor go over the back, my little orange friend, but he's just skipped out of the camera view again. He might be back. But we shall see. Hello, Glenda. Hi, Margaret. How are we? Hey, Sheila. Hello, Roz. Marilyn. Hi. We've got a good crowd. We've got Susie and who else? Lorraine. Hello, Siobhan. Hi. I'm not going to be able to say everyone. I'm so sorry. I would like to say hello to everyone, but we'll be here all night, right? So, hey, Cherie. How are you? All right. So, ladies, we are at the end of another week. It's a Friday night. And you know what that means? It means it is sketch night. That's what that means. Now, let me just go and double check that I am actually. I just got a message saying that StreamYard is having a problem with Facebook and it's beyond their control. It's a problem on the Facebook side. So, if I haven't seen anyone is anyone watching on Facebook? Because it looks like that might be tricky tonight. Don't know. I'd love to hear if anyone is able to get on Facebook, but yeah, it did give me a message that there was a problem. And sometimes that is unavoidable. I can't do anything about it. All right. Hello, Denise. Nice to see you. Hi, Leslie. All right. So it is sketch night, which means we're working our way through the new catalogue now. We have some new sketches to play with. So that's this one here. If you don't have one of these and you're in Australia, send me a message. I'll put my email address. Actually, I'll put it up on the screen right now so you can see it. Where are we? There we go. Oh no, that's not it. Actually, I need to put up a new. I might even just do it now. It's this, Linda at lookwhatimade.com.au, and that is up on the screen. There you go, Linda at lookwhatimade.com.au. Email me if you would like me to send you one of these for free. Okay, they don't cost anything. It's got all the new products in it. Well, it hasn't got all the new products in it because we also have some online exclusives that are extra products that are not in the catalogue, and there's some beautiful things in those online ones as well. You don't have to buy them online. You can buy them through a demonstrator, but it just means extra product that you can see in the online store that's not actually in the catalogue. Just going back for a second. There is an issue. Okay. Thank you very much, Siobhan, for putting that up there. That's very helpful if anyone was over there. Look, to be honest, YouTube is a bit more reliable for me. I don't know why, but sometimes I have problems with Facebook. The other thing with Facebook is that the videos on Facebook Facebook only allows videos to be saved for 30 days and then it deletes them. Whereas YouTube, they're on there forever. So, or as long as YouTube exists. So, to me, YouTube is the better platform for videos. Definitely. I mean, that's what it's for, right? It's a video platform that is solely for that purpose. So Facebook is for other things. It's for photos and for conversations and all sorts of other things that are also handy. But when it comes to my videos, I do feel that I get more bang for my buck over on YouTube. Hey, Maureen. Nice to see you. You think YouTube's more fun, Roz? Well, that's an interesting. Why, can I ask? Why do you think YouTube is more fun? Who prefers Facebook and who prefers YouTube? I guess it depends on what for, right? All right. So we are going to be looking at page 14 in the catalogue. So if you wanted to turn to that page, that's where all the sketches are. Let me turn my lamp on and switch over to the desk. There we go. So here on page 14, this is what we're looking for. And we are working our way. So last week we did number 1, and tonight we're going to do number 2, which I have to tell you, I think that's a little bit challenging, but we might see. And some sketches are very open to interpretation, and you can kind of change them from landscape to, whereas this one you could, I suppose, change from portrait to landscape. but I'd probably want to turn my little rectangles around if I did that. But anyway, so you can see there's 3 rows of little rectangles, okay, and there's a circle, which one would assume is probably for a greeting. It doesn't have to be, though. It could be something else. It could be maybe a, I don't know, a flower or a butterfly or something on the circle, and then the greeting could be elsewhere. So, you know, you have got still a little bit of room for interpretation with this one. Just kind of bring it up a little bit closer. Can you see it there, the second one? Right there with all the little rectangles on a diagonal. I agree, Glenda. YouTube definitely seems more stable. That's what I would say. That's just, I don't know why. Oh, you think it's more of a fun crowd on YouTube? Well, the Facebook girls would probably disagree with you, Leslie. It's a wheel on a flower cart. Well, heck, there you go. You know what? I hadn't thought of that. So there you go. What a great interpretation that is. Can anyone else see anything else that this could be? Anywho, I did sort of play around with it a tiny bit tonight because I wanted to make sure that that I knew how big the rectangle should be. So I've actually cut a few already, and I'm going to have to cut some more. And I was playing around with some of this beautiful new ornament. Is it ornamental pine? Hang on. No, it's not ornamental pine. It's elegant pine. That's what it is. Elegant pine DSP. And it's absolutely beautiful, this paper. I really, really love it. I think it's gorgeous. And actually, while I've got that out, I'll show you the rest, which is just behind me here. So this is one of the online exclusives. Okay, so you won't find this in the catalog. And one side, I think some of these pages, like this one, and also there's a darker one, this one, I'll show you a bigger piece of it, that look a little bit like Australian bush type. You know, they look like we might have some Banksias or some bottle brush in there. And I thought that these weren't particularly, like some of the piney and some of these seem to look like they might relate to a wintry kind of a thing, but this doesn't. So I thought that this was really good for Australian Christmas cards. Don't you agree? A chicken crossing the road. Nicole, I'm so sorry, but I'm sorry, you've lost me. Is this the road and the circle is the chicken? Is that where you're going with that? Or are you just, you're just pulling my leg? A trailer resting on the ground? Yep, maybe. It could be a number of things, couldn't it? I agree, Roz. This is one of my favorite DSPs at the moment. And it's absolutely beautiful. So we've got this one that I think looks a bit Australian bush-like. Okay, and on the back, you've almost got, so it kind of has that kind of, I mean, it could be anything, but I think it's meant to have like a wintry, like frosted window kind of a look. Does that make sense? And this is a pretty peacock color. And then then that's the same. And let's see. Then we've got this one here, which is pine cones. And they could be snowflakes, but they're actually made out of pines. So they're not got that real wintry feel again, which is really nice. She's pulling my drumstick. Do you think so? Do you think so, Cherie? You never quite know, do you? You never quite know. And then on the back, we've got that frosty look again, but with old olive this time. And this could be anything, you know, like it's not, like I said, it doesn't have to be a wintry thing. And then this one I've got left over from these little snowflakes. This is one I've got left over from a card that I've made for a class. I do my monthly Hunter Valley class, which is where we make 6 cards over the course of a day, and there's morning tea, lunch, and afternoon tea, and it's a fantastic day out. I really, really love the classes, and I know the girls do as well. So I've made, and this month I'm making 16 packs. It's a big class, and they make 6 cards. So 16 times 6, that's a lot. And I've done 2 out of the 6. I did one yesterday and one today, and one of them features this paper. So I can see my husband is just coming home from work. He's just pulling into the driveway. So on the back here, you've got the snowflakey look again, but once again, made out of the pines, right? Yeah, it does look a kind of like a snowy look, right? But it doesn't have to be. You could kind of just use it as an elegant background. So then you've got a really big one. So this one's like little ones, but this one's a big one. And I think that's really beautiful as well. And if you're only using bits and pieces of it, you know, they don't look like big snowflakes. They look, I don't know, just looks piney. So yeah, Elegant Pine Snowflakes is what it's called. And then you've got this one here, once again. And then this one, this has also got some snowflakey piney things on it, but it's got the dark color in the background. So I'm trying to work out, is that Secret Sea or is it black? What's the pack say? Let's see. Yeah, it says Secret Sea, not black. So that is actually Secret Sea in the background, but Secret Sea sometimes looks so dark, it almost looks like black. Don't you agree? All right. So just moving that out of the way. This is one of my favorite paper packs at the moment. I just think it's gorgeous. Now move those out of the way. I'm going to cut a couple more of these because I have enough. So I made the pieces, the little rectangles. I made them to. I had. They're an inch. No, sorry, 1.5 centimeters wide, which is just a tiny bit more than 1/2 inch, if you're wondering. Okay, and then I made them 3.5 centimeters long, which is 3.5 is about, it's 1 3/8 of an inch. That's how much. All right, so gives you a bit of an idea. All right, so I'm going to move that out of the way. All right, so now I've got a bunch of, because I cut a couple of layers at a time. So now I've got a bunch of those, and let me go ahead. I'm going to open this back up again, so I'm referring to the sketch, but I think I have it in my head now actually, but I'll just pull it out anyway. And all right, so these pieces here are going to go, and you're going to start them here, and we're going to go across diagonally from one side to the other. So they're like bricks. And you want to place them down first to make sure you've got the positioning right. That's not bad, actually. So I'm a little bit in from this edge and a little bit in from that edge. Okay, then the next one starts the same amount of distance from the edge, so the bricks are not lined up. Oh, my light just went funny. And then that one. And that one. So you're just building them as you go down the page, if you like. Now, in the one on they're actually a little bit further up. They're not down as far as this, although I don't think it matters. What do we think? Do we like these? You think a lot of people like Secret Sea? Yeah, me too. I'm just yeah, Secret Sea is the new black. I think the good thing about Secret Sea, I'm going to move it up a tiny bit. Good thing about Secret Sea is that it's a bit softer than black. So if you do want to use a bit of you want a bit of drama in your cards, then Secret Sea is a really good choice because. And it's good for stamping as well. Actually, I have a card here. Did I? Oh, here you go. So I stamped that one with Secret Sea. It's not black. It almost looks black, but it's actually Secret Sea, which is a little bit softer than black would be. And I think that looks really nice. That's just a good example of why you might use Secret Sea instead of, I mean, I quite often use other colors instead of black just because I want to. Now, if you were really worried about getting these bricks straight, then I would use a ruler. You could put lines down, with a pencil and rub them out later if you're worried about it. Oh, I've got glue everywhere. Let me just get it with my finger. And if I have to get the rest of that, I put too much glue behind it. Well, that was silly. Still, let me get that out. I can always go back with my, what do you call that thing? Adhesive remover later and try and get rid of it because I use way too much. So guess what? Next time I think I'll use my seal. Sorry, yes, I will use that because I think it will be a bit more, won't have the problems with the glue coming out in between. So all you want to do is make sure your lines are straight. So it's a little bit of time invested in getting all these on here, but it's not a difficult card. And I think it'll look quite nice when we're done. And we're just going on a plain white background. You could also do different colors if you wanted to. So that, I mean, I've just made mine. Look, I'm going to go back to seal. I've just made mine all the same, but you certainly could. You could certainly pick different ones. Oh, Sean, you are here live tonight. That's great. You said you miss being here live, but tonight you are. Yay. All right. And we've got 3 more to go. It doesn't matter which one goes where. So I'm just trying to make it that all the gaps are the same. Ah, yes, it will stop it from being sticky. That's a good point. Embossing buddies are good for more than just embossing. I love mine. Use it a lot. All right. Now, once this is well and truly dry, then I will use my adhesive remover to get rid of any stray bits of adhesive. But we are just going to take Glenda's advice and we're just going to get rid of any stickiness from that glue with my embossing buddy. All right. So it's kind of cute, just like that, right? A very simple card. Yeah, it's my go-to as well. Sean wants to know the size of the new envelope the stamp sets will come. Yeah, that information is up in the updates for demonstrators, and I do have that information. If you can just bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can quickly grab it. They're longer than what we've had in the past. So you're after for the new stamp style, is that right? So is everyone aware that the red rubber stamps are going to be going away in a little while, and instead we're going to have all photopolymer? Once upon a time that would have made me very sad, but now that photopolymer is so much better than it used to be, I'm not as worried about that. So let me have a little look. I think it was the 19th of October, 19th of August. Was that right? Yes, it was. And all right, I'm going to give you that information really, really quickly, Sean. Okay, so the new packaging measures, has everyone got a pen if you want to know this? 5 5/8 of an inch by 9 inches, or if you're doing it in centimeters, it's 14.3 by 22.9 centimeters. Okay, so 5 5/8 of an inch by 9, and that in centimeters is 14.3 by 22.9. Okay, that information is up on our website for demonstrators. I hope that's helpful. Does that answer? Yes, I know the light is flashing and it's driving me a little bit crazy and I don't know why. Let me just unplug it and plug it back in and see if that'll make any difference. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Give me a second. Sometimes we'll see if that helps. Sorry about that. Having one of those nights. We've had a bit of technology issue lately, haven't we? I'm just trying not to make everyone seasick. Come on. Why are you blurry? Oh, that's better. Much better. I hope that's helpful. Yeah, you don't want your buddy to stick to the glue. I know, right? All right, you girls. So we've got this ready to go. And I do have here sitting next to, oh, maybe I don't. I thought about using this size circle because I thought that would be about right. Okay. But it doesn't stand out very well on that. And I feel like I'd want to have maybe another one around behind it to give it a little bit of like a bit of an edge. So we'll see. But I'm just thinking, what color should we have? And now this color here, I believe, is shaded spruce. So I can use shaded spruce behind to give it a bit more drama. But I've also got to work out what I want to have on there. Do we think this is a Christmas card? What do you guys think? You saw, oh, okay. No. That's completely fine, Sean. No worries at all. Hey, Gail, nice to see you. No, the rubber ones won't fit in them, unfortunately. But I think the rubber is going bye-byes. Once upon a time, like I said, I believed, I was of the crowd that believed that rubber was so much better than photopolymer, but as photopolymer has got better and better and better, that's not necessarily the case. And I do appreciate being able to see through the stamps to do my stamping. It's much, much easier to line things up. So yeah, I've kind of come around to that thinking, but it took me a while. If you could find two 15-centimeter boxes, you could still use your calyx units to store the new stamps. Okay, yes, you can. I went to IKEA the other day and I was thinking, I didn't find anything I really wanted. Now, I ended up getting a box like this. Okay, now I don't know if you can see it very well. You can see I've got my stamps in it right now. Okay, and it was this kind of box. And the problem with this kind of box, I'm not recommending it because I only get one across in my calyx unit from IKEA. So this is the cubes that you might see behind me sometimes. Those are called calyx. And I'm going to be after something a little slimmer that I can put in and have two next to each other. But I am accommodating quite a few stamps just in the one. So you'll miss the rubber stamps. Yeah, I understand. Oh, the quality has definitely improved. Yeah. All right, so I'm thinking about what I would like to have behind that. I have got some, well, I believe this is Secret C. Do we think some Secret C glitter paper might go nicely behind that? It might. Secret C would go nicely with this, and I could either do Secret C ink as well, and I think that might really work. Or I could put something else on here, like an element, a butterfly, I was thinking, or something else. If I had some little snowflakes, that would be perfect. And then put my greeting up the top here. So we do have some choices. What do you guys think? Do we have any thoughts on this? You're not sad about them going? That is something I think people are going to be happy to not have to put the stickers on anymore. I've had a few people say that. They've even watched my how to put your stamps together video and still don't think that it's good to have to put the stickers on the stamps. So I understand that. No, none of my photopolymer stamps have gotten gummy either, Sean. Not mine either. A snowman. I don't have a snowman. That would be good, wouldn't it? I'm just thinking, do I have any other elements that would work really well? I mean, we could do something else completely different. What about, like, completely different? I mean, I've got some little pine cones. Those might be good. That's a possibility. Or we also have, what other elements do I have? Do I have any other fun? I've got candy canes in the, they're very, that would be very Christmassy, wouldn't it? I've got candy canes in the gingerbread set. We could use a candy cane if we wanted to make this very Christmassy. But I've also got like little, we could do a couple of little, and some berries, a pine cone and a berry. What do you think about that idea? You know, have these down here, some pine cones and berries. I know, Margaret. It made me cry when I watched her arriving at head office. How exciting was that? Just loved it. Oh, there's also these. These little, these are nice. I mean, who says we have to stick to our circle, right? We could just do something. Is there anything in the ephemera pack? I only have the only ephemera pack that I have is the new one with all the words, right? Which would be nice. So, I mean, I could put a happy Christmas up here and then something down here. Let's make this. I think we are making this Christmas. Or we've also got season's greetings. We've got Merry Christmas. Maybe it's season's greetings. Maybe that would be good. Oh yeah, these are adhesive. So I was just thinking. So they're kind of like die cuts, but they're adhesive because you peel the backs off. Just let me grab my take your pick tool and get that under there. There we go. So this is totally different to what I was thinking it might have been, but so I'm doing a season's greetings. I'm going to add a little bit of, seeing as this is shaded spruce, I'm going to grab a little bit of that. I'm grabbing a blending brush, a blender brush. And let me see if I can put a little bit of colour behind here. Like that. Oh, it was ages ago, April. It's one of my most popular videos, and it's done very, very well over the years. Let me just, here you go. It was 4 years ago, and let me tell you what, give me a second. It was June 5th, 2021. There you go. It's called Game Changing Tip, the Easy Way to Mount Cling Stamps. There you go. Now you know. I hope that answers your question. All right, so we've got our season's greetings up the top there. We could have done a nice big joy up there too. Maybe that would have been good. But anyway, it is what it is. And I'm thinking about popping this right here. And I'm going to do this in, I'm deciding, don't judge me. I'm going to do this in crumb cake. And I promise you it'll be okay. Because we're going to colour it. Sometimes having a light colour, like lighter, white would work as well, but I think I like the idea of something a little darker than that. Let's see if we can get this to work. If we don't like it, then we don't have to commit ourselves, right? All right, so at the moment it's pretty bland, all right? But what I want to do is I want to give the pine needles some color. And I could do this with blends markers on a piece of paper underneath, or I can use my blender pens to color and just add some light color. And I'm wondering, do we want light color or do we want to darken it up? I might add a little bit more. So I'm going to add a bit more color. All right, just like that. So you can see how it's coming together. And then I'm thinking of maybe adding in some berries as well and a pine cone. So This is gold. So if I could add a gold pine cone, or I could do the bronze that's in the autumn set. Does everyone know what I'm talking about? That might work. And I'm wondering about maybe I'm going to use my blender pen, my blends markers to do my. Be very careful because I don't want to put this on. I shouldn't be doing it on the glass mat, but I'm just being really careful because it's permanent. So you don't want to put it on your glass, right? All right, so that's how that's looking right now. And then I'm going to add some. Did we decide what color we wanted the pine cone to be? You could dry emboss the layer. You could. So this is the, it's called earthen toned foil paper, specialty paper, sorry. And it looks like it's like a bronze. It's beautiful. And you get to see my ceiling and my lamps as well because it's very well reflecting. All right, so I'm going to cut this. I think it'll look okay for the pine cone, even though we've got gold on there. And I'm just going to cut this at the 6-inch mark. If you ever want to use your trimmer, when you butt it up against this little ledge here, that's exactly 6 inches. So you haven't got to sit there and try and work out where the 6 inches is on the measurement guide. It's actually against that ledge. All right, so I'm going to cut myself a pine cone. And while I'm here, I might cut some berries as well. Might as well. So if you're wondering where these berries and pine branches and things are coming from, they're from the branching out dies. I love these dies. I love the whole bundle, and I'm actually using this bundle as my Zoom class this month. So I have a Zoom class every other month, and this month is using the branching out bundle. So I hope that you'll join me with that. I did have a couple of people purchase the branching out bundle this week, and I need to send their supply lists out. So if you have ordered branching out products with me in the last week or so, it is on its way. Right. So this one I'm going to do the same thing. I'm actually going to use a light cherry cobbler marker. And let me put a piece of paper under there. Just a scrap of something. This will do. This is a embellishment pack. And I'm just I don't trust myself to not to get it on the glass mat. So I'm just colouring in the berries. And you could, go over it with a blending brush and colour the rest of it if you want to. I might just keep it that colour though. All right, so we've got our little bronze. How cute is he? Little bronze pine cone. I'm going to put that back in the pack. And let's get these on here. So I'm going to put a couple of glue dots. I think that would be the best, just behind these pine cones. So one right there. And one right there. What date is the Zoom? It's the 24th. So Wednesday, not next Wednesday, the one after. And 2 p.m., which is quite a common time for me to run things. Not every single thing I do is 2 p.m., but a lot of things are. All right, so I'm looking, this is how this is looking now. And then I want to have So I'll put a bit of a glue dot behind that one. So yeah, I hope that some of you will be able to join me for the Zoom. So how does the Zoom work? For anyone who's wondering, the Zoom is one of my favorite things to do. And it is, do we want it straight up and down or do we want it on an angle? Not that way. It's either straight up and down or this way. What do we think? I'm going to put a glue dot behind the pine cone as well. You're doing it, Lorraine. I know. I've got you down on my list. That's awesome. Thank you. It's a lot of fun doing a Zoom together because we get to actually see each other. You guys are lucky. You get to see me. Well, maybe not so lucky, but you get to see me, and then I don't get to see you. But at the Zoom class, we all get to see each other, and I love that. That's very cool. And usually most Zoom classes go for around-ish 2 hours. If you're wondering how long, we make 3 projects. The 3 projects I'm really, really pleased with. They're all using the branching out bundle. So you will need that bundle if you're going to be making the cards the same as mine. There we go. Okay. What do we think? Do we like it? We did follow the sketch, most certainly. Sheila said it's an awesome crafty time. That's awesome. Very happy. So if you have the branching out bundle and you bought it through me, you're automatically registered. Even if you can't watch live or join us, there is a replay so you can watch the YouTube later. If you have already got yourself the branching out bundle, even if you didn't buy it through me, maybe you're a demonstrator and you bought it yourself, or maybe you bought it from someone else, that's fine. The class will be $15 for you to attend the Zoom, and I will send out the supply pack after you've paid. The other thing is that if you're in my team, you get to do the class for free. So those of you who are in my Insomniacs team, I didn't end up using this. I decided not to. Didn't need it with these things and the bit of color on here. So I didn't end up using the glimmer paper. That glimmer paper is to die for. Has everyone seen the glimmer paper? It's so beautiful. So you got the Secret Sea, although I think in the catalogue it says like blue, navy, and I don't know, something. But it doesn't, I think the colours, if I had to say what they are, Secret Sea, cloud cover, and I think this one is it looks like Blueberry Bushel, but it's sort of in between Blueberry Bushel and Misty Moonlight, probably. So they're the 3 colours in the paper, and you get 6 sheets, two 12 by 12 sheets of each colour. It's really nice. Janine, I think I sent it to you, but I will double check. There's a possibility that I didn't, or maybe it's gone to spam, maybe. But we'll work that out. I'll have a look at that straight after this video. They say light green, I know, but I'm saying cloud cover because that's the color I see when I look at it. Oh, hello, Tanya. Nice to see you. Ah, right. Yes, you've been on an important mission to the pub. You have it, Sheila. Yeah, I thought I sent them all at once. Never mind. I will go and check. And Janine, if you could check your spam, that'd be good as well. All right. So shall we make another card quickly? All right. I have. I thought I'll use this set again, and I'm going to do an idea. So this is branching out again. I have been using this set on repeat because I think it's fantastic. And I'm going to make a card. Now, I have started here. This is a piece of paper cut lengthways, like a full sheet of A4, or if you're using US letter. And then you would fold it, cut it lengthways at the 10.5 centimeter or 4 1/4 if you're in the US. And then you fold it at half. And then I've made this bit square. So this is 10.5 wide. So this is 10.5 from here to here. Okay, so this is a square on the front, but it's shorter on the front than it is on the back. Okay, and then I'm going to fold this piece in half. There might be a bit of wastage here, but I'm making a Joyfold card, and Joyfold cards have been around forever, and I love them because they're easy and they work with nearly everything. So I'm just going to work out what size I want this to be. So Joyfold is the piece here on the front is shorter, and then you've got another piece that folds over. And I'm deciding if this is the right Do we think that that's the right size? Or should I go down a size? Is this the next one down? Yes, that's the next one down. No, I think the first size, I think that's good. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to put this through. I've folded this piece in half, and I'm going to put this through. Where will I put it through? Yeah, there. Okay, so I'm going to have this edge slightly off. So it's going over because I don't want to cut the fold here in the middle. Okay, I want this piece to actually open out. So I'm going to put it through like this with this edge slightly over that fold so that this piece doesn't cut through. I hope that makes sense. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to run that through my cut and emboss machine. So yeah, we're going to make 3 cards with this bundle. So these are the dies. The stamp set. Oh, here's the stamp set. Here it is here. This one. If you only have the dies, you could go ahead and still make the cards. But to register for the class for free is actually to buy the bundle, because having the bundle means you've got all the access to those. So when I open this piece out now, you see it's cut through both layers, and it's got a fold in the middle where we didn't cut through that end. Okay, and I really love that effect. I think that works really well. So how this is going to go together, this piece is going to go in here like so, and then this will open out and open out. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to make sure that this piece is going to be centered right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some glue. I'm going to pop that straight here in the middle. Oh, that's okay, Sean. That's okay. We'll hopefully see, well, you'll see us on the replay. And thank you for joining us tonight. All right. So Margaret, you were saying how lovely it was to see Susan getting all the rewards this week. And I have the situation where she got off the bus and they welcomed them to head office. And I told you I cried when I saw that. I had a not for $1 million, obviously, but I had a similar experience back in 2013. We went to Salt Lake City. Our incentive trip was to Salt Lake City that year, and I was blown away when we arrived at head office. We got a similar reception. Didn't get the flowers, but we got all the standing ovation and people cheering, and I got very emotional. It was a crazy moment, and I'll never forget it. It was just beautiful. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut a smaller piece now. So I'm going to go down a size, go down one size. Let's see, not that one. I think it's this one. So this one's the next size down, and I'm going to do the front piece. Okay, so I'm going to have this piece here is going to be on the front, and then this piece here, this is square, 10.5 by 10.5. So I'm going to go with a 10 by 10 piece, and I'm just wondering actually what maybe I should use those ornamental pines again. That might be rather nice. Let's maybe do that. All right, so I'm going to do this piece in very actually, if I'm using the ornamental pines, those have got a white background, and I don't want to have, so I won't be using, I was going to use very vanilla, but I won't, because these have got a white background. So let me see. So these, maybe this one, because they've got the little pine cones on them, and that would work with our branching out set. Another option would be the one that I mentioned as looking a little bit Australian. That would look nice too. But I think I'll go with this one. And I'm thinking, will I go the garden green, the pretty peacock, or the shaded spruce? I think I'll go pretty peacock this time. So let's do that. All right. So I'm going to cut this 10 by 10 because that's square for the front. And because it's got a white background, I'll use a white piece for the die cut. So this is 10 by 10. Like this. And then this piece is going to go on here. This will be 10 by 10 as well. I want to have as many pine cones as I can get on there. So I'm going to have 9.5 by 9.5. Right, and I'm going to pop this on here. Try and get this lined up. Only thing with seal, it's not quite as forgiving as Tombow when it comes to getting it lined up on the piece of paper. All right, so that's going to go on the front. It's pretty exciting, Sheila. And that's something that, you know, makes it worth. Now, I actually think I want to have 2 white shapes. So I decided this was going to be the right size, but I want one for inside as well to write on. So I'm going to cut 2 at once, which is good because these are simple shapes, so there's no problems with cutting 2 at the same time. I'll just cut those 2. I just grabbed a couple of scrap pieces out of my scrap drawer for that. All right, so this one's going to go inside, and then the other one will go outside, and we're going to decorate it. All right. So I'm thinking maybe we can use, what color will I use? I'm going to use Early Espresso. And this is such a fun stamp set because you can really play to your heart's content with this. And it's very realistic looking. Right, let's see what we've got here. Got a little pine cone. And I've also got, there's some that have got, there's 3 close together here, these ones. Then there's 3 a bit further apart, and there's some single ones. You can pick whichever ones float your boat, really. But because I'm going, I think I'll go with the garden green because there's some garden green in that. And the garden green looks quite nice with the pretty peacock, surprisingly nice, actually. I didn't think they'd go together once upon a time, but they do. And if they go off the edges, doesn't matter. See, it's going slightly off the edge, but looks really good. All right, and because down here we haven't got as much to play with, so I think I'll go with a single one. And I also want to have some room for some pine cones. So that might be enough of those. Let me grab my pecan pie for my pine cones. You could also use the Early Espresso for the pine cones, but I like the pecan pie. I like the different colour. a different brown. And that might be enough because I'm probably going to end up with words in here somewhere. So I might not want to have any more than that. Oh, well, you know what, Nicole, I think there's a few of us that feel like we could probably get ourselves to the million if we weren't careful. So, yeah. I will be there one day, but I've worked out if I keep going at the current schedule, it's going to take me a few more years yet. It's going to be probably about another 6 to 8 years for me. Just depends if I pick up the pace. But yes, it's such an amazing achievement. Yeah, well, that's this year. So each year they have the $1 million retreat once a year. And so it's whoever has hit the million or a multiple of a million, like Dawn Griffiths is on there, and I think she's at 2 or 3. So 2 or 3 million, I mean. So it depends on how they're going. Now I'm also going to grab, because I think this will look nice. Actually, no, I'm not going to do pecan. I'm going to do crumb cake. And I'm going to add a bit of color over the edges. But I can tell you it's a lot of work. That's what I can tell you. So I hit 700,000 last year, I think. Yeah, last year. So I've still got a few years to go yet. But I'll get there eventually. All right, it's looking nice. Isn't this pretty? Yeah, I will. Well, it might be more like 8, but it depends on whether or not I can pick up the pace a little bit, because I had a very slow year this year. So, yeah. But I'm going to talk to you guys more about that next week. So stay tuned for that. All right, so this is going to go on the front. Do we like this? All right, so that one's there, and this one's going to go inside. You could give it a little bit of a, little bit of color as well, which is quite nice. So let me add a tiny bit more of that. There we go. Let me get that on. Oh, sorry about that. Well, it's not meant to do things, it's not meant to kick you out. I know that there are ads, and that's how those of us who use YouTube get a little bit of income. It's not a lot of income, but it all helps, right? And I hope that doesn't interrupt you guys too much. All right, so now I've got somewhere to write. I've got my piece here on the front. This piece is here. So, I mean, what I probably should have done is put another color around the back. I probably should have done like a pretty peacock piece, an embossed piece or something like that at the back. Doesn't matter, though. You get the idea. So it does look very pretty, though, doesn't it? But I feel like, yeah, something around here would have been nice. But you know what I could do around there for a bit of fun is I could stamp. I could stamp a few more of these. Just for a little bit of effect. I love these pine cones. They're the best. The pine needles, I mean. Hello, Giselle. Nice to have you with us. Hi. Yeah, I could add it. I could do it. I won't worry about it right now. Now I'm thinking I could put a word or something like this here. But let's have a look and see if any of our ephemera pack, because obviously I've gone a bit crazy with the ephemera tonight. I wonder if the joy, do we think the big joy would be too overwhelming here? That's a possibility. I mean, I'll pull it out of the sheet without pulling the adhesive off so we can see what it would look like. So that would go probably about here if we do joy. It's not bad. I don't mind that. What do we think? That's a possibility. Or if we wanted, we could have joy in a circle, or we could have a merry and a bright. Merry and bright would be nice. There's also a happy Christmas. There's so many choices in this set. I love this set. What do we think? It's too big, too much, says Sheila. I'm a too much kind of girl sometimes. What else do we have? See, this is the small joy, and that's nice as well. From our house to yours, that would be pretty. This one's nice. 'Tis the season. Let's try 'tis the season. Let's see how that looks. Oh, look, and half the adhesive came off when I put it on there. If I was to put that right there, what do we think about that? That's nice. Yeah, let's do that. How beautiful is this ephemera pack? There we go. Take the adhesive off the back. I'm just going to put up a little bit from the stitching so you can still see the stitching. All right. What do we think? Do you like it? Yeah, it's a better size. I agree. I'm just going to grab some adhesive gems, and we've got some gold ones here that will match our gold words. So these are the metallic adhesive back gems, and I love these. I think they're fantastic. Maybe one right here, and some little gold ones over here. One up here, and one over here. What do we think? Do you like it? It turned out kind of pretty. I had this idea in my head a little earlier and thought, oh, that might be nice. So it's a Joyfold card, but we used the beautiful branching out dies to make this fabulous insert, and you've got room there to write. You could stamp in here if you wanted to, a little bit of a, I'm just thinking what stamp would look really good. There's some big dots and some little dots in here too, and those are really nice. And there's a smaller branch as well. And then you've got your little pine cones in groups of 3, and the single ones, pine needles, and then you've got 2 pine cones. And the only Christmas stamp in here is one. This isn't really Christmas, but this one says from our family to yours. All the others are non-Christmas. So this is not a Christmas set. Although it certainly can be used like we just did. You could use it as a Christmas set. What do we think? Do you like these? So there you go. We did a sketch. And I put it somewhere. Here it is. We did a sketch. I used the Elegant Pines DSP tonight. And there are our cards. What do we think? You happy with those? Oh, to a very special someone. That would be nice as well. I'm really glad. So who's never tried a Joyfold card? Because I challenge you to find one. Yeah, definitely, Marilyn. They're fantastic. And you can just use a rectangular piece of paper and fold it in half. It doesn't have to be a die like this. But I thought that would be nice on this occasion. I just realized what we don't have on here is any bling. And I've got, do you know what? Because even though we have gold, we have this is closer to copper, and I'm thinking the copper bling would be better on here. Or I could also use the berries. You know the berries? Where are those? Let me grab them quickly so you can see what I'm talking about. We have lots of choices. Oh, and there's always, rhinestones as well. No, these guys. These are, I haven't got many of those left, have I? That's okay, though. I love the berries. I think they're gorgeous. But I think I need to buy another pack because I've used up all the single berries. I've got one single berry there, but the others are in groups of 3. I've got some clear ones. Oh, you're very, very welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm so glad you did. I'm deciding still what. I would normally go with the berries, but because I don't have any single ones, I think I'll go with the copper. So let's, because the copper will match in with our bronze. So I might have one there and then two little copper ones. I don't know where to put them. Maybe one on either side of the season's greetings. Maybe that. Or something. I feel like I'm just putting them on there for the sake of putting them on there, actually. I think maybe just the two. But this one, I'm very happy with how that turned out. In hindsight, I might have gone with garden green here instead of pretty peacock because I think it would be more in keeping with the pine needles, but it still works. It still works. Good luck cards. Ah, that's pretty cool. He's retiring this Friday. What a big event. Wow. There's a few who didn't get the supply list. Okay. If you're in the team, the supply lists haven't gone out to team members yet, but they'll go out over the weekend. So Tanya, you're in the team. So yeah, this is people who've actually paid for the class or purchased the bundle. I do them separate because they're different events that trigger the supplies to go out. Yeah. So there are those of you who are saying you didn't get the supply list, the ones who are in my team, I haven't sent those yet, but I will. All right. Let me come back and share a good night with you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am going to put my banner up on the screen just so you know where to go if you wanted to go shopping. So if you've seen anything tonight that you think is lovely and you'd like to have it in your own collection, then you can go shopping with me at my blog, which is lookwhatimade.com.au. When you go there, there's a shop now button, and just make sure it says that you are shopping with me. If you haven't shopped before, you also need to opt in for rewards. So it'll ask you when you go to place your first order if you would like to be opted in for the rewards program. Make sure you say yes, because that way you get 10% of every order to use on a future order. So, for example, if you spent $50, then you would have $5 towards an order in the future. So that's how that works. That's how the rewards work. And you can keep those rewards in your account for up to 12 months, which is fantastic. It's a new program. It's only been around since March. And I've already got quite a few customers. I've seen people in the last couple of days, I've seen quite a few people spending their rewards at the moment. So that's really fun to see. And also some people, I know one lady, she's saving up for a cut and emboss machine. So that's where her rewards are going. She's keeping them in there until she's either got enough or until the year is up, because they only get saved for a year. Okay. Any more questions before I head off? Oh, that's okay. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. For those of you who follow Sue Stampfield, or Susan Stampfield, please check out her. She's got a public Facebook group, and you can go and see all the photos of her $1 Million Achievers trip, which I'm so excited to see those all going up. You really like the new way. I know, me too, Rose. It works really, really well, and I find I'm using my rewards whenever I really need them. Like, budget's a bit tight this month, time to use rewards. So, I'm finding it really good. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. I will see some of you team members on Monday morning, and everybody else, I'll see you at Technique Tuesday, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.